If you actually look at it, the predicates come before the columns at the beginning of the select statement. So they are syntactically predicates. However, in the logical flow, they occur last. Now here I wrote select all, and I bet even if you do a lot of SQL work, you never really see select all. That's the default, the opposite of select distinct. So if you don't say select distinct, the default just takes place, which is it going to be select all. Just to show you an example, if we say, now let me open this up so we can see a little bit more on this piece of code. There happens to be 2 Davids, 2 Garys, and 2 Melissas in the customer database. And if we say select all, or simply select, we're going to see every one of those rows. What select distinct does is it puts one more step physically and eliminates those. If we look at the query execution plan, you see a distinct sort which will actually eliminate the duplicates. One other thing to note about the select distinct is that it only looks at duplicates in the result set, not in the underlying tables or in the sources of the data, but only in the result set. And for those of you with an Access background, this is different than Access, just so you're aware of that. The other predicate has to do with the top command. So here we're selecting out all the customers, and we're going to say, show me only the top 5 customers, sorted by customer ID. And if you don't have an order by there, top is going to be somewhat random, and it's not going to be very useful unless you're looking for something random. So what we're saying is select the top 5 rows from customer, order by customer type ID. And customer type ID 1 will come up first, and then since we said 5 rows, we ended up with the 5th row, which is customer type ID 2 for that particular row. Now, I know that there's more than one customer in there with customer type ID of 2, and that's where the with ties comes into play. So, if we do select top 5 with ties, we then see that in the 5th row, there's actually several where for the order by, the type ID, the same value is present, and it will come back and say all of these rows tie for 5th place because they all share customer type ID of 2. So we've worked through the logical order of the query, looking at the from clause. Remember the 4-part names. We looked at the where clause and the different ways you can build where conditions. Then came expressions and columns and the case expression, different ways of moving data back and forth between data types, working with strings and dates. Then we looked at the order by to sort the data, then finally predicates to eliminate duplicates and to reduce down the number of rows we receive, looking at the top. And that's working with a basic query.